Hey, what's going on all? I have a special guest here. We have Dr. Bill Dorfman. Has been practicing for over 30 years in Beverly Hills area and has a career unparalleled to any other dentist in history. He has transformed the smiles of celebrities such as Katy Perry, Usher, Fergi, Michael Strahan, Mark Wahlberg, and Eva Longoria, and many more. Dr. Bill was the only dentist featured on ABC's hit show Extreme Makeover and is currently a recurring guest co-host on CBS Emmy Award daytime talk show The Doctors. He's referred to as the Michael Jordan of Dentistry. He's also appeared on numerous TV shows, including Larry King Live, Oprah, Access, Hollywood Entertainment Tonight. As the founder of Discus Dental, it's one of the world's leading dental companies. He's helped lead the company from its inception to more than 1.3 billion in sales, primarily with award-winning tooth whitening products such as Zoom and BriteSmile. Dr. Bill has received 20 Lifetime Achievement Awards, 2 Guinness Book World Records, is a New York Times best-selling author, and recently was the first dentist ever knighted by the Royal Order of Constantine. As a passionate philanthropist, together with country singer Garth Brooks and the Crown Council of Dentists, he has raised more than $44 million for children's charities. Dr. Bill is also the founder of the nonprofit LEAP Foundation. LEAP is a week-long motivational leadership program taught at UCLA every summer to more than 400 students between the ages of 15 and 25. More than just a dentist, Dr. Bill Dorfman is an author, entrepreneur, philanthropist, TV personality, health and fitness enthusiast, proud father of 3 daughters, and much more. Dr. Bill, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I think the show's done. We used up all the time on my intro.
That is one of the most powerful intros that I've had the honor of reading. I'm grateful to have you on the Clockedin podcast today. Dr. Bill, where does it start? Where does this journey for you start?
I mean, there's not just a journey. Pick one.
Yeah, so my thought on it is a normal dentist, they graduate from dental school, they start their own practice or they go under someone else. For you, what allowed you to excel in so many different areas? And what forced you to go into so many different areas?
You know, it's funny because my generation is much different than your generation. You know, my generation, typically, you're right. You know, you go to dental school, you're a dentist. You drill teeth. You know, You go to law school, you're a lawyer. You know, I mean, so it's not really common for most people of my generation to branch out and do so many different things. I literally use dentistry as a springboard for a multitude of different careers. And I think that the real basis for that was just always being open to possibilities in life. And kind of, you know, I teach a motivational leadership program for high school and college students called LEAP. And we put this on. This would have been our 13th year at UCLA. Our 14th one will be July 18th to the 24th. We get about 500 kids that come to the program, and we teach kids the skills that they need to be successful in life. And the part that's really endearing to me is the amount of community support that I got. I mean, listen to the lineup of speakers: Mark Wahlberg, Anthony Hopkins, Eva Longoria, Usher, Jason Alexander, Michael Strahan, Apollo Ono, Kathy Bates, Paula Abdul. I mean, on and on and on. These people all come and speak for free because, like me, they believe that our future is in our kids, you know. But if there's 2 things that I really want kids that go to LEAP to walk away from, it's these. Number 1, don't wait for opportunities in life. Make them. You know, if I meet another millennial or Gen Z who tells me they're waiting for the universe to show them something, I like, look outside. The universe is pretty dang busy right now and doesn't care about you. So stop waiting for opportunities and make them, number one. Number two, when you do get an opportunity in life, don't just take it, master it. And there's a big difference there. Well, here's the thing. I'm a dentist, right?
Yeah.
When ABC put me on Extreme Makeover, this was like the birth of reality TV. You know, nobody knew what was going to happen. Dentistry, awesome. TV, not so awesome.
Yeah.
I literally stunk. I mean, they should have fired me. If you watch the first few episodes of ABC's Extreme Makeover, I was so pathetically bad. It's a miracle that they didn't fire me. But I was smart enough to know I stunk. So instead of just sitting there like a loser, I did something about it. I took acting classes, hosting classes, teleprompting classes. I hired a media trainer to literally come in and sit with me and teach me how to interview, you know, how to sit up, how to look at the camera, what to do with my hands, what to do with my clothes. I mean, she literally drilled me down, and then she videoed it so I could see how bad I was, and then, you know, learn what I needed to do to be effective. Why? It's pretty easy. Our company, Discus Dental, started off, our first year, we did well, 2 million in sales. Next year, 4 million, 8 million, 16 million, boom, boom, boom. And we plateaued at about 76 million. And we just couldn't break that barrier. There were lots of competing products at Crest White Strips and all these other things.
Sorry to interrupt, but when you were doing that, what made you go from dentist to creating this Discus? What prompted you to do that?
Let me finish the Extreme Makeover part, and then I'll backtrack and do that.
Okay, perfect.
So, you know, here we are plateaued at like 76 million. We just couldn't break that. And, you know, I get on ABC's Extreme Makeover, and that first year we did almost $101 million in sales. The next year, 134, and the following year we did nearly $200 million in sales. So, you know, did it pay off? A little, you know.
Absolutely.
What inspired me to start Discus? You know, do you know who Sean Astin is?
No.
He's the actor from Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
He was also Rudy. Remember Rudy?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So Sean and I grew up together. We're really good friends. And he gave me a birthday card. I saved it because it was so awesome. It says, Dr. Bill, not only do you have strange ideas, but you carry them out. And I think that's really what differentiates me from so many other people. It's like, I remember going to my 40-year high school reunion, and it was really kind of sad. I mean, there were all these people that really never did anything spectacular with their life. They had ideas, but they just didn't do anything, you know? And I guess my whole thing is like, if I have an idea and I believe in it, I'm going to do it, you know? And I'm not going to quit. I tell my kids at Leap, I never fail. I mean, I know it sounds arrogant, but think about this. If you do something and it doesn't come out the way you want it to, that's not failure. That's practice. Then you do it again and again and again and again and again if you have to. You only fail when you quit. I won't quit. If I believe in something and I want to make it happen, I will figure out a way to make it happen. So in essence, I won't fail. Now, I may not be successful 100% of the time. That's okay. You know,
that's amazing.
The other thing you have to remember, we've all heard the saying, help me out here, practice makes
perfect.
Wrong. Practice makes permanent.
What do
So
you
when
mean?
you practice,
Yeah.
do it the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I get what you're saying. If you're training correct, if you're training wrong, it's going to be wrong. If you train
Right.
correctly, you'll be correct.
Right. Practice makes permanent. If
Yeah.
you keep doing something this way and that's wrong, you're perfecting the wrong thing. When you have to do it this way is right, right?
Yeah.
So practice makes permanent. It doesn't make perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So my two big things there are that you never fail is one of the great things that everyone should take away from this. It's me starting this podcast. It's me starting a business. It's you going on any adventure that you go on, or any listener going on any adventure they go on. As long as you continue going, you will improve. And with
No, not true.
what do you think? Why
Not
do you say
true.
that?
As long as you continue, there's no guarantee that you're going to improve. The reason you're going to improve is because of guidance and making corrections and doing it the right way. You know, you and I both know people that will never be successful. And let's not lie, they just never will. Why? Because they keep doing the same wrong thing.
Yeah.
You're only going to succeed when you realize you're doing the wrong thing and then change it to do the right thing. That's why mentors are such an important part of life. And it's a big part of LEAP is we try and help young students find great mentors that can help lead them to success and get to that point much faster than just making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. You know, my whole thing is copy genius. If there's a dentist that has a really successful dentist, listen, when I started my practice in Beverly Hills, do you think they needed another cosmetic dentist? No way. You kidding?
Yeah.
People looked at me like, are you, what, Beverly? So you know what I did? I went and I found the 5 most successful cosmetic dentists in Beverly Hills. And I went in and I shadowed them. And I sat there like a sponge. And I didn't just watch them drill teeth. I knew how to drill teeth. What I did is I went in there and I watched how they would bring a patient in, the intake forms, how they greeted the patient, how they talked to the patient, how they brought the patient into the treatment room, how they seated the patient, how they explained the treatment, how they explained the payment options, then how they did the dentistry. After that, how they excused the patient, how they brought them to the front desk, how they collected money from them, how they set up the whole ball of wax. And what I did is I stayed for 1 week in each of these 5 practices, and I took the best of each of these practices. And within a year, my practice was busier and better run than all of these guys because I had the privilege of learning from them, taking great continuing education classes and learning where my blind spots were and really working on that to perfect it and make it as good as I could.
The modeling there is brilliant. And the reason I say that is because so many people are concerned about, hey, is this person, they're too good for me, or I can't speak to them, or I can't do. If you just go student mode, which is what I do when you start talking, and this is what I do with everyone who I'm interviewing with, because you can learn from everyone. But I love that immersion that you were doing. The immersion, it takes you to the next level. You have to go backwards to go forwards. Yeah.
Totally.
You didn't step into any of the mistakes. So when you were doing this practice, how did you get into the celebrity teeth front? How did you get into that niche?
I mean, you know, first of all, I'm in Century City. So
Yeah.
all the big talent agencies are there. And I was young, you know, I was 26. And, I was dating a woman who worked at William Morris. So she introduced me to everybody in her circle. And I've stayed friends with all these people. And I've stayed friends with all these people. And as they grew and grew, they're now all running these big agencies from CAA to William Morris to, all of them. And so that was one thing. Believe it or not, being on TV, attracted a lot of celebrities that just came into my office. They saw me on TV, you know? And I think just like, you know, regular patients, people, you know, celebrities are friends with celebrities. And when people come into my office, my goal is I don't want to meet your expectations. I want to exceed them. If you exceed and focus on exceeding people's expectations, that's what blows them away. That's what gets them to send their friends and family and everything else. So
what are some ways you do that? Because a dentist, I feel like most dentist services are pretty similar. Is it in the distinctions that you found?
I'll give you a few. Every day at the end of the day, when I get in my car to drive home, I get a text message from my office manager, Sinette, who's a genius. She's brilliant. And in that text message are all the patients I saw and their phone numbers. So as I'm driving, I just click on each one and I call you up. I say, hey, Mark, how you feeling? How do your teeth feel? Da, da, da. Great, blah, blah, blah. Boom, next. I call every single one of my patients that I worked on at home that night.
I love that. It's the
Okay,
personalized touch.
I'll tell you a funny one. So a few years ago, Joe comes in. Joe is 88 years old and has 3 teeth, right? Unfortunately, one of the 3 was a goner. I just had to pick it out. So Joe comes in, super easy extraction, take the tooth out. That night I call him up. I'm like, is Joe there? He's like, yeah, Joe, who's this? I said, hey, Joe, it's Dr. Bill. He goes, Dr. Bill, why are you calling? I said, well, you know, Joe, I took your tooth out today and, yeah, I just wanted to know how you were doing. He's like, you kidding? I'm like, no. He goes, Doc, last month they took out my kidney and nobody called me.
It's the distinction. And that's why people enjoy that service more and they'll come back and they'll refer.
I'll give you another one. Look on Google. I have nearly 2,000 5-star Google reviews. I'm the only dentist on the whole Western hemisphere of this country that has that many 5-star Google reviews.
Yeah.
Why? Because every time a patient comes to the front net, my genius office manager will say, hey, how was your visit today? And if they say anything positive at all, which hopefully they always do, she says, you know, we're building our social media. Would you mind doing a quick Google review for us? Oh, sure. Right there. Boom.
Yeah, they're in the moment. They have the emotion and you get them and you capture it because it's the honest feedback and it's right there. They're sitting there to pay the bill or whatever it is.
And because they have location, the location of the patient at that time is in my office, they're all real.
Yeah.
They don't get filtered out. And I'll tell you something else, and this is another leap thing. The most powerful 3-letter word in the English language, A-S-K.
Ask.
Ask. Just ask. Could you please write us a review? Absolutely. Nobody says no. The only people who say no are people who don't know how to do it. And when they say, oh, I would love to, I don't know how to do it. You know what Sinette says? If you don't mind, hand me your phone and I'll just set it up for you. She goes ahead, she gets it all set up. She says, push the little 5-star thing and then just write a few sentences. Boom.
Yeah, because you realize the importance of what you need to do.
Right.
The importance of what that Google review will provide. Yeah.
There's a really great side benefit to that too.
What is it?
You get to the top of every search engine.
Oh, so you don't even have to pay for Google or any of that because you get all the, so it's free marketing. And that's why when you look up America's Dentist, you come up. I love it. So how has, and we talked about this a little bit, but how has television changed your practice and your business?
I mean, think about it. When I started doing cosmetic dentistry, if you really had a horrible smile, and this was a life-changing moment for you, you would come in, we would, you know, change your smile, and it was a really strong moment between me and you and maybe my assistant, sitting there, or maybe if you brought in a family member, right? Now we do that same thing, only millions and millions of people watch it. Imagine what that does. It takes away their fear. It gives them hope. It gives them a solution to a problem. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on and on. When I started doing Extreme Makeover, I was seeing 200 new patients a month.
Wow.
That's how busy we were.
And
the average dentist probably sees about maybe 20.
Really? And how did you get the opportunity to go on Extreme Makeover? Did you go after them, or did they come after you?
It was very, very interesting. First of all, at the time I was married to a woman who was an actress, and she had a demo reel, as all actors do, right? And as I started doing like these little TV ops, I thought, I should just make a demo reel. I did a commercial here. I did a commercial for 1-800-DENTIST. I was on the Rosie O'Donnell show, like little things here and there, right? And that all happened because I had a great publicist. Right from day one, I started practicing, I had a publicist. I always believed in publicity before there was social media and all this. This was the precursor to all that, right? Yeah. So, I had this demo reel. There was a woman named Jennifer Fenton, who was a patient of mine. She was a game show hostess. And she went to lunch with Howard Schultz, not Starbucks Howard Schultz, Howard Schultz from Lighthearted Entertainment. Howard Schultz is the man who created Extreme Makeover. Oh, and he had used Jennifer on another TV game show. And he told her about the idea for Extreme Makeover. And she said, oh, you have to meet my dentist and my good friend, plastic surgeon, Dr. Garth Fisher. Yeah. So he met Garth first, fell in love with Garth, put Garth on the show. And Garth and I happen to be close friends. He's my patient, I'm his patient. So he recommended me, she recommended me. So Howard Schultz submitted me to ABC. They called me up and wanted me to do a screen test. Now, had I known then what I know now, I would have just gone to ABC Studios and done a screen test. But I'm like, I don't need to do a screen test. Here's my reel. So I had my publicist send over my reel. And apparently I was the only dentist that had a reel. So they hired me off the reel. We showed up at the Sheraton Hotel in Universal Studios, and we filmed the very first episode of Extreme Makeover. And that was a pilot. And the ratings were off the chart great. And ABC got excited, and we got commissioned to do 22 more episodes.
I love it. It's always an incredible story hearing how things happened and where it came about and who connected with who. It's always interesting. So, Dr. Bill, so then moving on past the television, so when you started Zoom, what made you get into all these different products? And did you just realize that it was something that was needed?
Well, so the story with that is this. Back in 1987, tooth whitening hit the market, right? Okay. You weren't even born.
No, I was born in 95.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't hate you that much. So anyhow, tooth whitening hits the market, and the initial product was really not great. You basically, and this is crazy because with inflation and at the time, people were paying $800 for a take-home tooth whitening kit. Now, if you figure out what the equivalent is today, that's almost like $3,000. And we were giving them a baggie with little unmarked syringes in it and directions that were run off on this. You don't even know what a mimeograph is, but it was like before Xerox, the cheapest. The whole thing was just cheap and unprofessional.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, like, why isn't this better? And ironically, one day I get a call from the company telling me that I sold more tooth whitening than any dentist in the world. Well, it makes sense. I'm in Hollywood and in Beverly Hills and blah, blah, blah. And I said, while I have you on the phone, I said, do you have an advisory board or something? Like, I don't even want to get paid. I just want to help you guys make this product better because I have a lot of ideas that I think could really, up the profile and this and that. And they're like, you're 27, go away.
Oh my, brilliant. That's how all great businesses start.
There's been this common theme in my life. And the common theme is that every time I truly commit to doing something philanthropic, I make money.
Yeah.
So I went to this charity auction, and it's a weird story. But I was at the gym, and a woman I didn't even know came up to me and said, would you like to raise money for children's cancer research?
Yeah.
And I was just starting. I wasn't wealthy, but children's cancer, how can you say no to that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm like, sure. She goes, you are a dentist. I said, yes. She goes, and you're single, correct? I'm like, yeah, but she goes, well, we're doing a bachelor auction at the MGM, and we need 10 men to auction off to 1,000 women. I'm like, all right. The auction was humiliating and embarrassing, and I can't even say anything good about it. But the guy in line behind me was a man named Robert Heyman. And Robert and I, it was like bromance at first sight.
Absolutely.
We met, we're still best friends in life. We've raised our kids together. We've gone through marriages, and we built an amazing company. And Robert was the son of Fred Heyman. Fred Heyman, you don't know, but Fred Heyman created Beverly Hills. Fred Heyman developed a line of cosmetics called Giorgio. It's perfume. He literally made Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. That was all Fred Heyman. So Robert grew up in this industry. He was an MBA. He knew marketing. He knew manufacturing and all this. And together, Robert and I formed Discus Dental. I had the background in dentistry and a little bit in marketing, and we formed this company. And our goal was to make the best product. And typically we were so good at creating dental products that we didn't just create a product. We created what we call in the industry a category killer. When we put a product on the market, it was so good and so powerful that all the other products disappeared. That's what I invented Zoom. That was our product. I wish it was the video conferencing, not Zoom tooth whitening, but still, they copied our name for video conferencing. So, that was the goal. And so we made tooth whitening a cosmetic, not, baggies with gross stuff in it. We did a lot of things, like we flavored the gel. The first gel would almost make you gag. It was so bad. We were the first company to put flavoring in it. We were the first company to package it like a cosmetic. We were the first dental company ever to actually hire professional models to make it look like a cosmetic. Prior to that, when you bought dental products, they would put like their wife on the package, or the owner's girlfriend or kid, not models. Like, nobody did that. We were real trendsetters in dentistry.
So when you're doing all this, it's incredible because you went from being, okay, I want to have the best practice in Beverly Hills to now I'm supplying all these dentists around the world with their products, that's a game changer. That elevates how many people you can impact, what you can do. So at this time, were you practicing dentistry or were you more doing the business?
So that was one of the other advantages. I'm what you call a wet fingers dentist. There are dentists that start companies and they kind of just stop. I didn't. So I'm getting daily feedback from patients on what works and what doesn't work. So, and I'm still a wet fingers dentist. I still do dentistry. So Robert and I ran the company together, and I had the ability to test our products right away and get feedback from patients. Do you like this flavor or that flavor? Do you like this consistency or that consistency? Do you like this packaging or that packaging?
Yeah, so you have the market research right there instantly, and you don't
I had an internal focus group.
That's incredible.
And the reason we were able to beat up big companies like Procter and Gamble and all these other companies is because we were so nimble. It takes them months to make a change. If we saw something that wasn't working, we could change it overnight.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage, and a lot of the big companies are seeing that now. That they're struggling, and the small companies are getting versatile. They're hopping online. Big companies, It takes a long time. So you've done a lot. You've experienced a lot. You've seen a lot. What is the thing that you are most? Also, he's got a best-selling book too. We haven't even discussed that. What is the thing that you're most proud of there? The leap. I love it.
Yeah,
the contribution aspect to giving back.
I mean, we probably, over the years, I probably mentored over 10,000 students through programs like this.
Yeah.
And, look, I didn't grow up wealthy. I mean, we grew up in a very, very, very humble home. But as soon as Discus Dental started making money, we gave back and gave back and gave back. Together with Garth Brooks, the country singer, and the Crown Council of Dentists, we've raised over $44 million for children's charities through different initiatives that we've set up. And, for me, I strongly feel that the best part of making money is using it to help others have a better life too. So
yeah, I love that. I've been hearing a lot about the contribution where you give a percentage or big donation or whatever it is, but it really makes an impact, and it makes what your product is that you're actually helping more than just that. So now you buy Zoom, they're like, okay, I help children's cancer as well. It's a win-win-win for everyone.
Totally.
So what keeps you driving? Like, what keeps you going every single day, wanting more and just experiencing?
I mean, I love what I do, I just got a text message that, as I'm talking to you, I just sold my house in Deer Valley.
Oh, really?
So congratulations. I bought a new one, but the one that I had, I closed on just a second.
Congratulations. Congratulations. We captured the moment.
Yeah. Where are you located, by the way?
I've been traveling around. So I'm originally in New Jersey. Then I grew up in Ridgewood, New Jersey, went to Tampa, Florida for school, stayed there for work. And then when coronavirus hit, everything I do went virtual. So now I've been traveling the country with my girlfriend. And we're currently in Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah.
Oh, nice. What were we talking about before that?
What keeps you motivated? And then you go, I love what I'm doing.
Here's the thing. So, Leap. Kids that come to Leap, within the first hour, when I open the program, I do this thing, and I do it every year because it's so effective. And what I do is I say, listen, whether you think you did this or not, when you woke up this morning, you put a number on your forehead. 1's the lowest, 10's the highest. I say, be honest, raise your hand if you did not put a 10 on your forehead this morning. I look out in the audience, I see all these kids raise their hand. And then I ask them a question. Who picked the number? You. Did you have to take a test? No.
Yeah.
Did you have to do anything? No. So why wouldn't you just pick a 10? Yeah. I said, wipe that off, and whatever number you put on there, I said, put a 10 on. And from now on, I want you to walk like a 10, talk like a 10, act like a 10, but most importantly, surround yourself with other kids that are 10s. Why? Because if you're trying to be a 10 and all your friends are 2s, it's not going to work out too well, is it?
Yeah.
So, ironically, we started this thing called the 10 culture, right?
Oh,
this
really?
is a pop socket that I put on my phone. And at Leap, you got to be a 10.
I love it.
We sold Discus Dental on 10/10/10 at 10 a.m. October 10th, 2010 at 10 a.m. I know friends say, well, why didn't you wait till 10:10? Trust me, it was hard enough. I got the merger documents at 9 and I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait till 10. I couldn't wait a minute more.
Yeah.
I never in my life thought that I could push a button on my keyboard and it would change my life forever. And it did.
Yeah.
I mean, I always knew I'd have a good life. I'd live a comfortable life as a dentist. I never imagined building a company that would go from 0 to $1.3 billion in my life. And I'll tell you something, you know, a lot of kids today say, oh, you know, money's not important. Okay. I'm not going to lie. They're crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, does money buy happiness? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Money doesn't buy you happiness. But I will tell you this. It's really hard to be happy when you are broke ass poor. I don't care who you are. And don't lie to me and say it is. It's not, you know. And my goal was not to be like the richest guy in Babylon. That wasn't, you know, my plan. I just wanted to have enough money to support my kids, my parents, my family, and, you know, and have a comfortable life. And being able to build that company and sell that company afforded me a sense of stability and comfort that I am so grateful for. I wake up every morning the happiest person I know. I really do.
Yeah, I appreciate you opening up about that and telling us about that, because it adds another perspective and adds another layer of the importance of, I mean, it's cool to build something and it's cool to actually have it work and to be able to make that impact. And then, you know, that if you get more, you're going to be able to give more and help more. It's an even better thing. I know we're running on time. So for you, is there any last things, nuggets that you want to leave the audience?
You know, first of all, I would say if you're 15 to 25, go to Leap.
Okay.
It will change your life. It's an amazing program. You will meet lifelong friends there. If you're a parent and you have a kid that's 15 to 25 plus, send them to Leap. Also, I started my own podcast and it's done exceptionally well. It's called Meet the Mentor. And what we do is I interview different people every week as kind of a precursor to Leap. And we put it all in a podcast. And the podcast has exploded. We're #1 in Yemen, #2 in Iceland, #3 in Finland. And we rank in the top 50 in over 100 countries worldwide. So it's really been phenomenal. And again, I've had Mark Wahlberg and Anthony Hopkins and Kathy Bates and, Eva Longoria and Usher, and just amazing, and business owners and whatnot. So, so please do that. And if you want to reach me personally, I am probably the only person with 1 million followers on Instagram who actually answers all of my own DMs. So just go to Dr. Bill Dorfman, DRBILL Dorfman. Send me a message. I promise you, I answer all of them personally.
Amazing, amazing. And I'll drop all those links in the show notes. Dr. Bill, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.